Video number 4. Video number 4. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the list update, where I talk about 10 albums I've recently heard for the first time. We're over the halfway mark on these reviews for the all-nighter, so let me just think of something to really date this video that probably is going to be stupid or maybe even stupider in a few days. Man, Drake suing UMG for getting his feelings hurt was really stupid. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a GNX Deluxe out of it. It'd be really funny if there's a GNX Deluxe and we're gonna talk about it tonight or some shit.
Idle Hands by Imp.
This jazzy half-hour experience boasts some great production, solid and emotional bars, and features galore, even from friend of the show and subject of a previous review, Ali Sahir. Be sure to check this out and follow Imp here. They are 1000% worth the listens, and they deserve way more monthly listeners.
Truth is a Beautiful Thing by London Grammar.
I mentioned in an earlier update that I have been disappointed by the band's most recent releases, but also that I had not listened to their second album, this album, yet. And not only is this another great album in a similar vein as their debut, which I've already heavily praised, but it's an improvement of that debut in every single way. It both restores some hope that their first album wasn't a fluke, but does disappoint me further because of that shit new album. Oh my god, it just got worse the more I thought about it.
Teenage Dream by Katy Perry.
Back in my day, Katy Perry was the pop queen who ruled the world with her many amazing singles, all basically just off this album. But nowadays, she is kind of a punching bag for girl boss feminism that died on November 9th of 2016. But this album is still practically a classic. But please go back and listen to the singles from this album and try to tell me they do not slap. Excluding one of the songs where she drops the line epic fail. Ugh. 2010 was a really different time.
Meliora by Ghost.
If you couldn't tell from some of my other updates, I've lately been on a little bit of a metal kick. So my next stop was to check out Ghost, which I've heard there's a bit of contention if they're an actual metal band, whatever the fuck that means. I'm sure I'll get into that discourse one day, but that really doesn't matter for me because the music kicks ass and I enjoyed the hell out of this record. Quite literally, actually. A lot of satanic elements. Pretty cool.
Lift your skinny fist like antennas to heaven. Godspeed you, Black Emperor.
Alright, so now we're on music listener hard mode. But if you are willing to sit through 22-minute minimum length songs, then they do pay off each and every time. Plus, there's only 4 tracks. It'll only take an hour and a half. I'll be honest, I'm not sure I will ever listen to this whole album ever again, but I definitely won't forget this first listen for a long time.
The Great Malenko by Insane Clown Posse.
It's just very immature fun that occasionally actually gets kind of profound, but also gets incredibly stupid. The peaks and valleys of intelligence on this album, it's kind of wild, honestly. I'm not sure I'm a juggalo yet, but I'm also not exactly sure what a juggalo is.
What is a juggalo?
Hozier by Hozier.
As a woman who likes women, I have known for years that this album has basically been required listening. And I do recommend it to, the straights as well. And I was kind of surprised by how many of the high-tempo songs I enjoyed. Most of my impression of Hozier came from songs like Take Me to Church and Cherry Wine and What Real People Do. So it is kind of cool to hear them charge up their sound a little bit.
Church Clothes 3 by Lecrae.
I actually heard this album back in 2018, I think it was. And I remember thinking it was okay, but I didn't. But going back for a re-listen after I listened to the 4th installment in the Church Clothes series, I really didn't know what I was talking about back then because, oh my god, this kicks ass. It has some harder hitting bangers than 4, but it does have a little less focus on social issues that made 4 great for me. But there is still a lot to love here, and I would still rate it pretty damn high. I wonder what Lecrae would do.
A nigga wonder what Lecrae would do.
By the Throat, Idea, and abilities.
Shout out to friend of the show, Hoodie Hilltop, who you need to follow here, whatever, listen to their music. They're absolutely amazing. They mentioned that this is their favorite album of all time from when I've talked with them, and I do get why. At least when I used to think of rap rock, I would think of stuff like nu metal and Limp Bizkit and stuff. This is a much better example and melding of rap rock. The hectic production, personal and emotional bars, and even some solid singing. Great album.
The Eighth Coming, Come Girl 8.
Yes, I did listen to this album almost entirely based on the name. It's a pretty good album too. Kinda got a pop punkish electronic deal. It's not for everyone, but if that description or the name of the group catches your attention in a good way, check it out. That is all for this video. Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will see y'all for the next review. Pieces.